1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, he said, because he was happy. When he was a boy, he danced as a boy, he ran and ran for joy. The church called, but he never could believe. It would not call him again. The sun burned bright, glinting on the river through breaks in the clouds, its light illuminating him as no other light could. The river led the way to the sea. He heard the sea's rhythms. In winter, he could feel the salty, cold breath of the sea. He heard its roar grinding everything to sand. In a way, we all become sand. The sand blew around him. It was fine and felt warm from the sun. He could feel it in his shoes, between his toes. It came in wet, then dried in the warm sun. He took his shoes off and poured the sand out like salt from a cellar. He laughed and laughed. It was a sense of freedom only childhood could know. As an adult visiting, he camped on top of the cliff. He still had the strength to run up the river valley, to see the sea, sand, sea, surf and all. He hadn't seen the sea in years. He revisited the castle at the top of the cliff, ruined, gaunt and forbidding, standing guardian over the river. He passed it by and continued along the river valley. The patterned moss on the stones and gentle meander of the river was just as it had been all those years ago. In a wish, he took himself back to those days, in a wish. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Time slides quickly by, trickling through your fingers like mercury. A day could last forever, then close with bed. Was all childhood like that? In a way, the past is another country, it's said. It comes back to haunt us all. Were you afraid of the dark? Of things that went bump in the night? There was a day, only one day. He remembered it well, a sense of a time and place almost from a past life. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Sleep can be peaceful. Setting off to explore, days when he knew exactly what he'd be doing every hour of the day for several days ahead. When he was passionate about life, when it was time to explore. Daytime and nighttime are as one. No one is really afraid of the dark. It's ignorance they're afraid of. The deep dark within, like a black hole that sucks things in. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We dance around our lives, trying not to wrong foot ourselves. We dance with our friends along the seashore of life. Days in sunshine and days in shade. Can you see the door of life? Can you see a story? Was it a waltz or a foxtrot? Played on an old crackly wind-up gramophone. The sea, the sun, the sky and the beach, they all meet at sunset. But he was happy, ever so happy. What if the weather changed? What if the tranquil blue sky clouded over, turned to white? The fern was garlanded by bracken. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We dance under a cloudless sky, carry lanterns in the guttering gloom, and sing songs of childhood. Not Frere Jacques, but a song and dance of footsteps. He could never go there again. Never go there again. The sea and the sky were his home. Horses galloped past in the early morning, splashing in the edge of the sea, kicking up spray with their hooves. The tide going in and out. In a way, the sea and his life were one. The valley had many hues. The river meandered lazily to the sea. Way out to sea was a ship. The river flows quietly, silently to the sea. There are stepping stones across it, and the tide is out. A steep path wound down the cliff face to the beach. Another path to the beach lay along the riverbank. The sun shone all day. He made a raft from driftwood. It fell to bits in the sea. He tried to dam the river. In a dream, the sand went on for miles. He tanned himself in the noonday sun, dreaming wistfully. In the days and in the nights, he could run and never get tired. I see an image of a smiling child, showing his teeth and looking off into the distance. way past the camera into a future that only a child can see. Dance at the gates of dawn. Footsteps in the sand, linger for a while, then disappear forever. The toes sink in the wet sand and leave an impression. His shoes are old and faded from the sun. In dreams, he goes to the beach at dawn. He's on his own. The beach is empty, and the sea plays just for him. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The child and the man get confused and seemingly exist at the same time. The words seem to blow around the beach. The sea will last till the world ceases to turn, till the moon no longer goes round the earth. The tide goes in and out, in and out. He knew he was only fleeting, but as a boy he seemed to have no end. He would last forever. These things happen, whether we're there to see them or not. Does the sea have life? Will the river always flow to the sea? Fresh water meets salt. The river looks clean enough to drink. Long green moss waves in the river stream. The water is cold, very cold, although it's summer. The water flows down the valley without rest. In nature there is no death, only cycles. Cycles we seek to change. If he could relive one day in his life, which day would he choose? The child asked, "Where does the sun go at night? Why does the sky change colour? And why can't we drink the sea?" In the gloom, as the sun was setting, he could hear the chirping of crickets. Was that the light of a firefly? He couldn't tell. Summer and sun, sea and sand, sea and salt air, sea and sky, old and new, old and new. In dreams, the sky was powder blue from horizon to horizon. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The footsteps fade away. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We dance into the dark.